What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Um, it's been a long time coming. I should have been doing this about a month ago, but it's time. Pro days are done. Everybody's done testing, and it's time to get cracking. There won't be as many videos as last year, like team-specific mock drafts or even the player evals on my podcast. Um, this year's going to be heavily mock draft. We'll be doing division. We'll be doing mock drafts by divisions, so I'll be getting that set up. But let's just get into it. Just get first rounds. Let's just get going. So this first pick, even though I'd love to, see that, there's just going to be the surplus of, Ikem, Iquanu, and guys like Evan Neal and Aiden Hutchinson. It's just everything. Go with the tag on was it Cam Robinson? I don't want to get it wrong, but on the tag, they tagged their tackle, and so they're not gonna. If they draft a tackle, it would just be a waste of the tag. And if they intend on trading, that would make sense of the ticket. But I think you're gonna have to take next best pass, next best thing. It's gonna be pass rusher, Aiden Hutchinson. I like him a lot. He's got really good intangibles. He just the longer I look at him and the longer I watch his film, I just get more prospect fatigue. He's really good. Yes, he has this 1 year surplus, production, but he's just going to be that guy. He's going to be that guy for a long time. Even if he's like a 7, 8, 9 sack season guy for 10, 12, 15 years, that's what you draft him. You draft him to get to the quarterback. Half of the games you play in, and if he can do that, then that's an effective guy. Number two, a lot of people are talking Malik Willis. A lot of people are talking Trayvon Walker, but true and true, there's no one else like Kayvon Thibodeau. He's my number one edge, but I think that I'm doing a predictive first round. What I think the teams are going to do. So I think it's going to be Aiden and Kayvon. Now all of a sudden you come here to the Texans and you have your pick of the litter. Um, you know, well, Malik, after you traded him, you could take. Wait till next year. You can wait till next year. Right now, in my opinion, I believe you just take next best thing, and it's Evan Neal. I would love for him to fall to 9. I've seen him fall to 9 before, but it's going to be hard. Number 4, I have the um, I have the Jets. I really want to take Derek Stingley, but I think the Jets are going to take more help to protect Zach Wilson, their investment. It's just next best thing. Ikem Ekwonu, next tackle. Now that all the tackles are gone, they're going to take a premier edge, and it's going to be Trayvon Walker. Not much in depth. They have the 7th pick, so there's only one pick and one room for error. So there's a bunch of guys that they have that they want the pick of the litter. And I think the Panthers are just going to take next best thing, and I think it's going to be Kyle Hamilton. Even though yes, they just drafted Jeremy Chin and they were all defense all in 2 years ago, but I think he's a chess piece. He's a fit, and I think that with this team, he's going to be really really good. You could line him up at dime, nickel backer, slot, free safety, box safety. You can line him at corner. Yes, he didn't test the best, but his film does not lie. His instincts do not lie. His playmaking ability does not lie. Ball doesn't lie. When he's on the field, that team is the best team on the field. Number 7, like I said, the pick of the litter, Charles Cross. That's it. They went defensive line and offensive line. Best players available. Number 8, we come here and we're looking, and I think this is where a real trade down scenario for the Falcons will be. But right now, I think it's just next best player. And in my opinion, my first receiver. Sorry for the allergies. I think they're gonna take Chris Olave. Like I like Traylon Burks. I love Jameson Williams, but Traylon didn't test as well. And Olave is just that plug and play, you know, stretch of the field, horizontal, vertical. Yes, this is a real trade down scenario. I wouldn't doubt if they trade down out of the top 15 and take Olave. But right now with the needs and whatever, I think that receiver is the next best thing, and I think that Olave best fits the scheme for what they do. Yes, he's not a big body receiver, nor is he this blazer. Yes, he's very fast, but he's not like 4.27 blazer or anything like that. He's more fast and quick. I will say that. Very good hands, very good round running. He's more fast and quick. Chris Olave. And then right here, it's Seattle's pick of the litter. You guys know I'm a Seahawk fan, but that's beside the point. Um, this is a pick that we've never had a top 10 pick as long as I've been a Seahawk fan. I've only seen like 5 or 6 first round picks in my entire life. But I think it's going to be very hard. The best tackles are gone. I love Malik Willis. Our team will jump up top 8 and take him, guaranteed, because they think Seattle's going to be all over him. But like when I'm looking at this board, there's a lot of guys I love. There's a lot of guys that I'm just whatever about. Since this is my team, this is our highest pick in a long time. I have no idea what we're going to do. If I was Seattle right now, this is a real trade down scenario. But if I'm Seattle, I'm gonna take Derek Stingley. I love Ahmad Gardner, but I just think Derek Stingley, he just can't miss. And if he does, it'll be one of the biggest hype misses in a long time. He's been hyped up since the first game of his freshman year 3 years ago. And he's just been going down every year. But I think he's going to be a real up-and-comer. And this leads to the Jets' second pick, where now they'll take edge. And now this is where Jermaine Johnson comes off the board. Pick 11. It's their pick of the litter. They're going to take Garrett Wilson. Yes, he's a little similar to Terry McLaurin. Terry is bigger by 2 inches and about 20 pounds. But they are. I think this is a nice, inside outside. Garrett can play inside, and in the slot, and Scary Terry will play outside on the line, or he could go play outside, in a certain situation, and Terry kicks inside, and he's matched up, on a linebacker in the red zone, and then it just gets mixed up, and it's just a mess. Now it's time for the quarterback, but quarterback will come next year for the Washington Commanders. And now it's time for the Vikings to make a pick. It's just next best thing. And I know, first round rookie corners to the Vikings never are good, but he's a can't miss. I would have loved him at 9, but I think he's a little too similar to Sherman. I think we're going to go a little bit more out of that bigger 6'2", 6'3" plus corner mold. Kind of go a little lighter, tweenier guy. Not that Stingley's 20, but I just love Stingley. I loved him a long time. He's a really good player, and I think he's going to be good for a very, very, very long time. Now you come to the Texans. When you're looking here, there's a lot of things. Do you take, an interior defensive lineman that's high? This is a real trade down scenario for them. With, even though Malik Willis is still sitting here, I think this is just a thing that, is just going to be an occurrence of quarterbacks falling out of the top 15 this year, and a lot of players jumping up that you wouldn't expect. So right here, honestly, I think receiver is the pick, and they've been needing some size for a long time. So it's going to be Drake London out of USC. In my opinion, he's the second or third best receiver, just depending on how you ask me on the day. So this is just going to be something that I believe that they needed. They needed size. They have a lot of speed. They have a lot of gadget guys, and especially this year. This year is a year to focus on the pieces around the quarterback, and next year you go get the quarterback. So if this year you're going to take a big receiver, then you're going to really upload on the offense and defense side of the ball to really just incorporate who your next quarterback, whether it's Stroud or Galilei or Young next year, or who knows, maybe we might get a Joe Burrow, Kenny Pickett sleeper out of nowhere next year, and get a guy from TCU, or a guy from San Diego State coming out in the first round, something crazy like that. But that's just what I see. They just need size, and they just got it. He's the best jump ball receiver I've seen ever since I've watched football. There's no guy that's consistently gone up and got the ball like that in college ever since I've started watching college football. 24, not 2014, with the 14th pick, the Baltimore Ravens are going to make a very, very conscientious pick here. Receiver, I feel like they do need that speed. I still feel like they do need that size, and that's Traylon Burks. But do you take him here? I feel like they need a little bit more help. Um, this is a real trade down scenario for them. But I'm a big Andrew Booth fan, and I think that he could be a true undersized shutdown corner like a Tre'Davious White. I feel he could be that under 6 foot guy that's just gonna lock down, that third or that half of the field when he has to. At pick 15, um, this is where you look at the board and you're like, okay, I need playmakers. So right now, you need playmakers now. So this is where Traylon Burks comes off the board at 15. Eagles, and then you come back to the Saints, who I think are gonna really fall in love with with um, Kenny Pickett. But I think that at the end of the day, this is another trade down scenario where these top guys have all these picks. These top guys have all these guys, and then you just kind of trickle down to the late team. It's just guys that fall, so you want to trade down. But right now, I think Jameson Williams is the pick. I don't think he'll go top 25 because of the ACL injury and because of the size. He's 6'2", 180 something pounds, 180 pounds. Really long, really twin, and that's what really got him hurt. But he's my number one receiver. I'll spoil him now. He's my number one, and I think he's really, really good. He probably would have went top 5 if he didn't tear his ACL. Realistic. Here, this is where you look and there's Jordan Davis and there's all this. But right now, I think you have to take next best offensive lineman because they really were lacking. And I think it's not Trevor Penny, it's Zion Johnson. He can play center, he can play guard. If you need him, he can play tackle. Zion Johnson is just clearly that guy. I was big on Zion Johnson before all the Senior Bowl stuff. I was a big fan. I saw him, as just this boulder in just the middle of the offensive line. He's just this rock, and he's immovable. He's got that thick lower body, that low center of gravity, not that sloppy, but that heavy, lower set sloppy kind of look where, when you look at two halves of his body, they don't match. Like his legs are just so big, thick and strong. You look at his upper body, and it's just boulderous. And he's just that guy that's gonna go work for them. And pairing him with Rashawn Slater from last year, those are 2 top 10 prospects, in my opinion, that have fell out of the top 10. Or does Slater get taken at 8 or 9? But yeah, that's 2 really good investments on the offensive line. That's going to help Herbert a lot. Number 18 here, it's next best corner. It's Trent McDuffie. Not just because I'm a Washington guy, but I truly believe he fits that Washington defense man coverage mold from that Philadelphia, kind of defensive role with Devontae Maddox, with guys like that are smaller but play outside. That's really that alpha style kind of defense where we're just going to use our quickness and our speed and match up with your quickness and speed. But now you just got to beat us with your pure talent and size. And Devontae Maddox is a pure tester, one of the quickest guys on the field all the time. Same as Trent McDuffie. You didn't test the quickest. When you watch film, when he's playing, when you watch when the ball's in the air, he's one of the best in this draft class. And they come back here, and here is where you take quarterback. They're not going to wait next year. They're just going to take next best thing. You play in a dome. He fell to you, 19, Kenny Pickett. Here we come to the Steelers. Sadly, Dwayne Haskins, has passed away. Rest in peace, to Dwayne. I thought he was going to come in and really battle for this, vacancy job this year. And I thought I'm a big Dwayne Haskins fan. I thought he was going to come in and battle and potentially win it. But, with all these questions and with Pickett just gone, they're going to take Malik Willis in a growing year, in a rebuilding year. This isn't a quarterback away team yet. This is not a quarterback away from a Super Bowl team. No. This is a team that under the surface, under the TJ Watt, under the Juju and the Claypool, under the Najee. This is a very empty shell of a 2016, 2017 Super Bowl winning team. So I'm going to take Malik Willis as a growing pain. You get that fifth year option, and you move on from that. Now you come here. This is going to be a very Belichick pick, and it's going to be Devin Lloyd from Utah. He fits that Joker, Bandit, Mike linebacker. He fits every linebacker. You want him weak side, you want him strong side, you want him as a middle in a 3-4, you want him as a Mike in a 4-3. You want to run him solo and dime. You want to run him with a strong safety and nickel. You can do everything with him. He can cover the field. Yes, he didn't run as fast as I thought he was, but that film speed is no lie. That film speed is 110%. He's the best guy on that team, on that Utah defense. And shout out to Jalen Johnson, man. Shout out to Fresno. And here comes the Green Bay Packers. They need an alpha dominant number one receiver. But you're also looking at edge and tackle prospects. Penning would be great here. We just lost Devontae Adams. So I think you have to take the weapon for you have to buy the shotgun before you buy the insurance, in my opinion, in this league. You buy the shotgun for your house before you buy insurance. You know what I mean? So let's just go take next best receiver. And it is not any of these guys that I am passing. I believe they've fallen in love with Christian Watson. Yes, you could take him at 28, but there are a lot of teams in front of you that could jump up and reach on a guy like Watson or even Dotson or Jahan Dotson that I really like to fit this scheme. But I think he wants that longer, lengthier, speedier guy. Why sacrifice the size with speed when you could have both? Jahan Dotson is a smaller version of Christian Watson. A very smaller version of Christian Watson. That's exactly what I see. And here we come all the way to pick 23 with the Arizona Cardinals. All this mumbo jumbo talk of Kyler Murray, all this and all that. And right now, I don't think that they have secured the offensive line enough. And I think they're going to take Linderbaum. Yes, he's a Yes, he's a center, but he can play anywhere on the interior. And if you could push some of those interior guys, to tackle to 1 year and let Linderbaum really just take control of one of those interior offensive line positions and really just help shore up that inside running, because undersized, yes, but he's just got this motor that just goes and that tenacious and that nastiness. Right here at pick 24, my boys, Dallas Cowboys. I got a couple guys sitting here pretty for you, but what are the Cowboys without being the Cowboys? They're going to take Trevor Penning, an offensive lineman, in the first. I would have picked Jordan Davis for you guys, or maybe even Dotson, or Boye Mafe, or some of these guys, Ebikidi. But those guys are a lot of hype guys, and those guys are a lot of now guys. There's a lot of guys that we weren't talking about them at the combine. We weren't talking about them before they. We're just getting prospect fatigue, so people are just bringing up new names to talk. No, those guys are not first rounders. No, those guys are top 50 picks. Those guys fall, and Trevor Penning is the pick here at 24. Right here, it says they need corner and receiver, but I think their biggest need is running back. I would not take one in this first. I'm not in love with any running backs. I do like Isaiah Spiller. Kenneth Walker, Karan. No, it's not Karan. Oh my gosh, what all these Michigan running backs are stuck in my head for some reason. Hassan Haskins, Brees Hall. Yeah, those guys are really legit. Those backs, but there's no one I'd really reach in the first unless that's your only gap in the last 3-4 picks. Unless that's the only need you have. So right now it's gonna be, in my opinion, it's gonna be next best player. And I'm a really big fan of Kaiir Elam. I think he has that alpha build, 6'2", 194, long, strong, fast, quick, man coverage, shuts down the field. And I think he's just going to be a first round corner sleeper. He's got a lot of guys riding, a lot of guys falling. He's just falling down boards. But I think Elam is a top 20 pick easily, and I would easily take him top 20. Here are the Titans, and I think they're going to go next best offensive lineman, and it's Kenyon Green. A little bit bigger in the midsection than I'd like, even though I'm talking. A little bit sloppier looking than I thought playing tackle at A&M last year. He looked a little bit better in uniform than he did in combine clothing. But when he's on the field, when he's in those pass sets, he looks light as a feather. Like this dude just moves, and I think he's going to help a lot. Even if that's not the immediate A tier pick, it's going to be something to help their next quarterback, and it's going to be something to help Derrick Henry for the next 5 years. Here we go to the Buccaneers. They're going to really bolster up the offense, and I think they're just going to take next best receiver, and it is going to be Sky Moore out of Western Michigan. Sky Moore is really good. I feel like he fits that Antonio Brown slot kind of role. I think he's really good. I think he's a big sleeper because of the school he went to. And I really, really, really think that he's going to make an immediate impact with Brady he's going to be Brady's cushion. Guarantee he's if he plays all 17 games, Sky Moore's sitting on 70 catches. So Sky Moore's sitting on 70 catches as a rookie. Here it says edge and OT. But I'm going to take next best thing, and that's Jahan Dotson. I know I said I want to double dip, but they don't have a 1 or a 2. And if you don't have a 1 or 2, and you have 2 first-round picks, you better go find your 1 and 2. And they found their 1 and 2 with Jahan Dotson, a speeder, smaller guy, incredible hands, one of the best hands of the class. And Christian Watson's 6'6", 210-pound screamer of an athlete, 4.3 speed, smooth, quick, just a gazelle when he's on the field. And I think that's why he's one of the biggest reasons why I take Jahan Dotson at 28, because you take him at 22. Right here, it's just going to be next best player. And right now, I think Jordan Davis doesn't fall this far, but all these needs are coming up, and he can fit all over this defense. Yes, he's 6'7", 350 pounds, but he is just this incredible mover. You can line him up at 5. You can line him up at 3, 1, nose. And I'll line him up at dime linebacker if I had to. He's just that guy. And here we come now to Chiefs' second pick. Let's see. So next, got the Bengals and Lions after this. This is a pick where you went into your defensive line. Do you take this? Do you take that? I think Daxton Hill is the next best guy. He's not a first rounder in my opinion, but I think Kansas City just in no trade down value right now. At pick, yes, there's always teams want to go up, but at pick 30, you're not going to get much. So I think Daxton Hill's the pick. He can immediately come in and play slot. He will play slot for 17 years. But if you get him at free, you can put him at free. You want him at strong, a little undersized, but he can play strong. Fits in the box, fits in the slot. And now here you look at the Bengals and just came off of the Super Bowl appearance. And, you're looking, and what do you see? You see Devontae Wyatt, next best player. George Karlaftis, Boye Mafe. I love Perrion Winfrey. Nakobe Dean falling out, Christian Harris. But right now, this would be a real trade down scenario. But they have struggled so long to find that true alpha 1 consistent corner. Kyler Gordon measures a little bit smaller than I'd like, but I thought he'd be about 6, 200 pounds. It's 5'11", 200. But I think he could really fit, and he's going to be a little bit of an undersized alpha, but it won't be long before he becomes a true number 1 corner. And the final pick, you have here the Lions. You have your pick of the litter. You've got a lot of guys that should have gone in the first round. Devontae Wyatt, Desmond Ritter, Karlaftis. Um, people have Boye Mafe, Nakobe Dean up there. I feel like Nakobe Dean is my second favorite linebacker. You know, I feel like he's that undersized overachiever, which is nothing wrong with that, which I really love. But I think a lot of teams are just going to say there's bigger guys, there's stronger guys, and there's faster guys. There's guys that put in more production, but there's no one that's made a more bigger impact than him. So I'm going to take Nakobe Dean right now out of Georgia to pick 32 to the Lions. I think it's going to be a great change of pace on the defense to have a little bit of a smaller, faster, paroler of the defense instead of these bigger, hunkier guys that just pull their body weight around. He's a guy that really moves, really glides in. They've really struggled in the box forever, what seemed like. And now I think he could be a bolster, undersized at that linebacker position. A true Mike, a true commander of the defense. So the final pick in the first round, the Lions select Nakobe Dean out of Georgia. So let's look at this mock draft again. We just did first round, no trades. We went Aiden Hutchinson, number one. He's a true 5-tech edge. He's not going to line up he's not going to fit in a 3-4 scheme. He's not going to stand up and play linebacker at 5-tech for you. But in this 4-3 scheme, he's going to come in and play that Leo edge, and he's just going to bury your left tackle every other play. Pick 2, Kayvon Thibodeaux, better fits the scheme. You took, two guys that have a little bit of controversy as of Kayvon Thibodeaux with his love of football. He would not have played football in Oregon at the highest level for 3 years if he didn't love it. He's my best edge rusher. He's my best player in this draft. And then pick 3, Evan Neal, next best protector for your investment next year. I wish if he fell to 9. I wish if Ekem fell to 9, but Ekem gets snagged up at 4 by the Jets. They're just going to secure Zach Wilson. Pick 5, they go Trayvon Walker, next best rising edge. He's the biggest riser, so he's going to go up. He's a big fan. If he fell to 9, I would take him in a heartbeat. Pick 6, Kyle Hamilton. I know people are taking a quarterback. I know people are taking a tackle. But I think this team is just very defensive driven, and right now they're looking for offense after this first round pick. So pick 6 goes Kyle Hamilton. Pick 7, we got New York Giants coming up again. This time Charles Cross, tackle, next best tackle. You're just shooting dice at this point. Daniel Jones is staying another year. You're just shooting dice with whatever's around him. Pick 8, a little rich, but Chris Olave. He's one of my favorite receivers for the past 3 years. And I think Chris Olave has just been really, really consistent, really good. He should have came out last year. But I think the Falcons trade down out of the top 15 and take him. But right now, no trades. They take next best thing. No Julio, no Calvin Ridley. You don't have a 1. You barely have a 2. So you better go get one in your top 10 pick. Pick 9, my Seattle Seahawks, Derek Stingley. I wanted to take Ahmad Gardner here, but I'm kind of over the bigger, slower, cover 3, press corners. I need me some quickness. I need me some speed. We had that with DJ Reed, but he just goes to the Jags. And now we're just here. So we picked Derek Stingley at 9. Number 10, the Giants' second pick. It's edge this time. Jermaine Johnson, help on the defensive side of the field. And this defensive scheme fits perfect. Big fan of Last Chance U. I saw him. I was like, this dude should not be in Indy right now, but he is. Pick 11, it's Garrett Wilson at Ohio State. Quarterback, yeah. I think next year I hate to get political, or not political, but, financial. This is a financially stable investment. First year as a new name team, you don't want a new name quarterback with a first new name team. That's just how it has to be. Because if your first new name team quarterback flares out, that's all you're going to be remembered by. The Washington Commanders' first quarterback was this, and he played 3 years in the league off of the first round pick. And he walks out now. He's coaching, high school football. No disrespect, but you could have a top, potentially top 10 pick in your lap, and you don't take the next best player. take a quarterback, that would just be foolish from the first year, new name team. So I take Garrett Wilson, a guy that's going to be supportive of your new quarterback next year, and a guy that's going to really, really just be a secure pass catcher that in that second year when you want your fresh quarterback. Pick 12. I know I said Vikings, corners, young, high drafted corners never really pan out. And I said I was tired of the big, longer corners. So Seattle takes Derek Stingley and Minnesota takes Ahmad. Houston Texans select big receiver. They need size. And they're going to go with Drake London, the best big ball, the best big, jump ball receiver I've seen coming out of college. Pick 14, Baltimore Ravens select, a true shutdown corner, in my opinion, a little bit of an undersized shutdown. Andrew Booth Jr. out of Clemson. I think he's a true, outside left cornerback. But the quarterback's going to want to avoid in the coming years. Pick 15, Eagles need a lot of help and a lot of size. Treylon Burks, next best weapon on offense. I would have went with Jameson, but I think they want an immediate impact with Jalen, coming into a real do it or lose it year. Pick 16 is Jameson Williams. He'll be a top 10. Like I said, he'd probably be a top 5 pick if he didn't tear his ACL. He's my favorite receiver by a mile. Pick 17, next best, weapon for Herbert, even if it's not a receiver or a running back, even if it is an interior offensive lineman. It's better he is on his ass, 5 times less a season and getting hit 20 times less a season with a guy like this. It's worth the 17th overall pick. Number 18, Philadelphia goes to a guy that can cover the weapons that they drafted at 15. Trent McDuffie, one of the best corners. I took Andrew Booth because I feel like he's a little bit more of that culture and scheme fit in Baltimore. And I feel like Trent McDuffie's more of the culture and scheme fit in Philly. So that's why I took those guys there. And we come to pick 19, the Eagles again. The Saints again take a dome quarterback. Kenny Pickett. He's a glove thrower, and he's going to play in a dome at least 10 times a year. So that's 10 games where he should play very efficient. Kenny Pickett. This is a pain year, like I talked about the quarterback that I'll be talking about next. It's a pain-grown year for 2 organizations. Now, people say our quarterback away, which they are shells of themselves in 2017 and 2018. So Pittsburgh Steelers take Malik Willis. It's been, like I said about Kenny Pickett, it's a growing year, it's a pain year, it's a rebuild year. So this is a time for you to really, learn and get out those errors as a young quarterback this year and next year, potentially, kick-started by the second half of next year. Pick 21, the most Patriot pick I've maybe done in a long time. Devin Lloyd. He's that alpha, Mike, Leo, Sam, everything. He can play everything, everywhere, any scheme. Hell, you could just draft him as an edge rusher and he'll have 11 sacks a season. It just does not matter where you put him. He's going to make a play. Pick 22, a little rich, but I'm a Christian Watson fan. I've been watching Christian Watson since, days with Trey Lance, when they were up and coming. He's probably he's a smoother and more explosive version of Drake London, just with a smaller sample size and versus smaller competition. But in my opinion, if you dominate in smaller competition, it's the same as, playing very well in a good division, like what Drake London. Pac-12 has fallen off, according to everybody, but I think the Pac-12 has some of the toughest linebackers, toughest defensive linemen, out there. Nasty, nitty gritty, and that's just the way I see it. So that's why I compared Christian Watson and Drake London as those kind of similar, but Watson's just down a notch because of the competition he played in. Sometimes he'll disappear, sometimes he'll show up. Pick 23, Linderbaum, just protects Kyler. You're going to have weapons later on. Next best protection value, and it's Linderbaum. 24, Cowboys take another offensive lineman in the first. It's next best. It's Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa. Plug and play right tackle, Tyrone left tackle. You can sit him a year. kick him in a guard, whatever you want to do, he could play. Um, and then pick 25, Kaiir Elam, next best corner, true shutdown. He's got the alpha build, alpha talent, shutdown guy. That's just all it is. You need one next to Tre'Davious White. Pick 26, it's next best protector, and it's Kenyon Green. I love him at tackle. I love him at guard. He can play center. A little bit sloppier than I'd like out of the, but that's just a personal thing. Pick 27, Sky Moore. We're gonna go with an inside guy, inside outside ability receiver like Mike Evans is not gonna play slot 50% of the snaps. Chris Godwin is not gonna play slot 50% of the snaps. It's gonna be Sky Moore playing 50+% of the snaps in the slot. Scotty Miller is very good, yes, but I think that Sky Moore, his upside is better and his intangibles are better. His size is better. Pick 28, double dip on receiver, Jahan Dotson. Like I said, a smaller version of Christian Watson. He does have the best hands in the class by a mile. You just see him snag one-handed catches with safety on him. You just see him snag bad balls with corners draped on him. It's just incredible to see. Pick 29, Jordan Davis, next best defensive player, and he's a scheme fit everywhere. 0, 1, 3, 5 tech, nose, scheme dependent slide on this and that. He can play everywhere. He's just that size, speed, strength combo that you have that is unlike any I've seen. So pick 29 is Jordan Davis out of Georgia. Pick 30, a little rich for a safety, aside from Kyle Hamilton in the first. But I think Daxton Hill's a guy that can play slot immediately for the Chiefs. Free safety, box safety, strong safety, dime and nickel linebacker if you need to, because he can just play everywhere. He's got a nose for the ball. He's got a nose for the play. He's just a little bit more undersized than we'd like, under that 195 threshold. A little slim, but nothing's wrong with that. I think he can make a transition a corner, but I'd like him in the slot first and see how he truly handles the line of scrimmage game. And then the final two picks, the Bengals and the Lions. I took Kyler Gordon. There's no offensive lineman I would take for the next 10 picks. So it's just next best thing, and they do need a corner. Eli Apple showed up a couple times, but he was gone the rest. So Kyler Gordon, next best corner. If you miss, you get a 5-year corner, a 5-year average corner, 5-year starter. But if you hit, you get a guy for a decade and a half that's going to shut down. And then you pick 32. This is, in my opinion, a kneecap biter pick. It's Nakobe Dean, undersized, underutilized, in my opinion, at Georgia. I think he could have been so much more at Georgia, even though he was already so great. But he's a faller because of his size, all this and all that. But in my opinion, he's a true top 15 pick. Yes, Seattle needs a linebacker, but at 9, I want to take him. I would trade down to the Eagles and take him at one of those picks, whether it's that 15, 16 pick or that 19 pick. If we got one of those picks and we traded down and got some extra picks, I would happily take Nakobe, top 20. But Nakobe Dean, undersized linebacker, a lot of heart, a lot of fight, a lot of grit. One of those kneecap biters. This is my first video of the year. Thank you guys for coming back in. Thanks y'all for subscribing. Comment what you want to see next. Comment what you think. Comment what you would have done. Comment what your team is and what you want to see your team do. And I'm gonna be plugging my socials in the description below. Also, the previous videos will be in the description below when I start uploading more videos this year. This is the first of many, guys. I'm sorry it took so long to get back to y'all. But yeah, let's get kick-started in this draft season. And thank you guys for always all the views, and thank you guys for everything y'all done. And we'll catch you on the flip.